Okay, hi, it's Saria here, and I'm here today to talk about who gaslights and why. Earlier this week, I did the video on what is gaslighting. Check that out, and then you can see who gaslights and why in this video. So frequently, people just think those who are avoidant gaslight, like they're pushing away from emotions. So avoidant people tend to go, those are not my emotions, I'm independent and strong. And so they'll make other people wrong for their emotions, like, oh, you're crazy to feel different things, because they don't know how to process their own feelings. So they make other people wrong for having them. And this is absolutely true. Many people who gaslight are like this. Though also in the other attachment styles, people gaslight. So for example, anxious people, if they are feeling big feelings, they might deny somebody else's feelings in a way because their feelings just feel so huge and they want and demand their attention, love, and care for themselves. And they delegitimize what other people are feeling because their anxiety is so high and their need for love is so high that they prioritize what they're feeling. Then there is also the complex attachment where it's like, I need you, I want you, but I don't believe you can love me, or I'm angry that you're loving me wrong, and I don't feel worthy in it. So you push back against the love. So I want it. How can you love me? Don't you know who I am? And so then they'll make the other person wrong for loving them and make them think that they're crazy to love this person. So people who gaslight can also have that dynamic going on. And you have to remember that most people don't gaslight on purpose because they are evil monsters. They gaslight because they haven't had the skills to be able to create secure, healthy attachment where you're attuned, you empathize, you connect, you validate, you understand what people need, and you're responsive to them. They haven't learned that series of secure attachment. So when things come up and they don't know how to process them, then they put it on somebody else, like, stop what you're feeling, because I'm not feeling secure here and I don't know how to get secure. So I'm just going to make you crazy and wrong so that I feel more stable in myself. So let's look at why people are like that. So we have more compassion and understanding for them. That doesn't mean that because we have compassion and understanding, we should tolerate how we're being treated. Not at all. And we'll look at that later in another video. For now, we're looking at why people gaslight. They possibly have been made wrong or punished as a child for what they feel. And so as soon as somebody else feels something, they repeat that programming. And when they've had that, they feel really insecure about themselves, their feelings, and connections. And so if somebody gets close, they might go, oh, why are you loving me? There obviously is something wrong with you if you love me, because I'm clearly damaged and broken. So some people have that. Whereas on the other side, people have this entitlement of, I am, like if they had a helicopter mother who did everything, who tidied, who cleaned their room out, and they're used to just being served, they have this sense of entitlement. And if somebody says, hey, I need this, or what's going, this is what I need to be healthy in the relationship, they'll delegitimize that and gaslight that to go, you're crazy to think that I, in my authority and my awesomeness, should have to serve or care for anybody else. So it can come from a place of this entitlement, but also from a sense of insecurity. Ultimately, if we've had like very controlling parenting, dismissive parenting, or aggressive authoritarian parenting, all of those create a fragile sense of self. And for some people, that manifests as a righteousness, to protect against the pain that they went through. On the other side, where it is somebody who has become very sort of narcissistic, where everything needs to be around them, and if anybody else asks for their needs to be met, then they notice this power dynamic and they're like, I'm going to stop this power dynamic and I'm going to make the other person feel so insecure that they feel like I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm amazing. And when somebody feels insecure in that relationship, they stay in the relationship, they become desperate and needy, and it gives this person power. So on the extreme end of gaslighting that happens, the majority of people are never that mean. Just doing what they can because they haven't learned it. But when we do get to that sort of narcissistic extreme, it's a deliberate mechanism and tool to control somebody else, because if their self-esteem is so damaged by how we make them feel crazy with the gaslighting, they can't leave because they don't have the agency, the impulse, the confidence to be able to step out, because this person has made them feel so awful about themselves, ugly, useless, incompetent, unlovable, where they say things like, nobody would ever love you as much as I do. And this is clearly not true, because what they're experiencing is emotional abuse, not love. But they will love bomb and then take it away. And when somebody goes, I don't feel like you love me as much. Well, how can you say that? I've just been busy. And it just delegitimizes what they're feeling. So the person begins to feel crazy of maybe they are just working and on their phone all the time. And they have a right to do that without considering me at all, because why should I be thought about? And they create that narrative so the person doubts themselves. And when this is going on, in that extreme example, the person needs control to feel strong. So they dominate and make somebody feel insecure, sort of chop them off at the knees so that they can't walk away because they feel so bad about themselves. And sometimes this is a pattern of programming where they were treated like that. They had a parent who did that to them, and they learned that that's how to be in a relationship where you don't really care about the other person in that way, except for what they give you to meet your needs, and you don't have to meet their needs. And this deliberate control and manipulation is a part of emotional abuse. The majority of people who are doing it are not doing it on purpose to be emotionally abusive. They're doing it because they haven't learned the skills. And when they genuinely care and you point it out, they will go, oh shucks, I'm so sorry. I could see that I was feeling X, Y, Z and I didn't know how to face it, so I silenced you. And they will empathize with you and validate your experience and deeply care about what's going on. And they will get help. They'll go to therapy to learn the skills, or they'll join a program. Like I run a program of Overcome Emotional Abuse. And they'll do something like that to learn how to not only overcome the programming that they went through, but also learn the skills how to do it differently. So, when you know it's extreme is where somebody is in denial about their behavior, they won't change, and they think that they are right. Where somebody is doing it simply because they haven't learned the skills, they're not doing it as a deliberate manipulation and emotional abuse tool, they're doing it just because they didn't have that in childhood, then you know you've got something that you can work with. And we'll look further in the next week or so of how you can deal with it, as well as the impact of gaslighting for both people. So I hope that helps. I'm just trying to keep all the videos under 10 minutes so that they're really easy to watch. And let me know if you've got any questions about gaslighting so I can add it to the next videos. All right, I'm sending you love. This is Zaria.